onions. Huh? What'd you say? Oh. Oh, nothing. Oh.
Island. Yorana, ahatera, uteitare, inoroha, motoraha, iwatai wahine, you know, oh.
Well, thanks. Gee, did you say that?
If I hooked up on, I would have did the PA away. You had to be a dito here, I don't know, Tom, out of a year away. Told them not, the thing, but I'm not going to go away. Told them not, told them not, told them not, told them not.
The back, please, the back. You're cute too, Doc.
We're gonna have roast rabbit! We're gonna have roast rabbit! We're gonna have roast rabbit!
We're gonna have roast rabbit. We're gonna have roast... Ooh. No, you don't. Pull a knife on me, would you? Why, you... One false move out of you and I'll...
catch a ride. Farewell, bon voyage.
Let's do this. We are live. Good morning, good Sunday morning, everybody. And I was noticing in the chat, we still have the World Cup going on, and it does look like Norway is playing. So, yeah, good luck to Norway because I know we have viewers from Norway.
Yeah. Norway v
And
Brazil, I think.
and we have, I think, another week or two of the World Cup left, right?
It goes to the end, almost the end of July.
Okay, so we got a little bit longer. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's probably going to interfere with our watch party, but you know what? It's all good.
So what?
It's all good. All right, so today we are. This is our very first movie of Jean-Claude Van Damme's. I think that's how you officially pronounce it, right? It's not Van Damme, it's Van Damme.
Depends where you're from. It'll be different if you're French or Belgian. Who knows?
Yeah, so there you go. And so the cartoon, to give credit where credit is due, so the cartoon's choice for today, Wakiki Wabbit from 1943.
Waikiki Rabbit?
That
Yeah.
that is totally in the public domain. However, we probably all guessed that Bugs Bunny is still under copyright by Warner Brothers.
Yep.
United Artists used to own the copyright. Back in, depending on who you talk to, where you read it, it went into public domain either 1971 or 1973 when United Artists just forego it. Either they abandoned it or they just said, it's run its course. Now the reason that that cartoon is significant, and I do like to bring these cartoons in the original unaltered condition. If you research that cartoon, there are 1080 versions of it, there are 4K versions of it, but that means someone else has put the work into it to restore it. So I don't want to be taking that work. I don't claim any of that work as my own. So what I offer is more of the original condition, what we would have seen Saturday morning cartoon version, like on an old VHS. So that's an homage back to my Saturday morning cartoon days. So back in 1943, when this was released, this was one of Chuck Jones's first offerings as a director. And notably enough, this cartoon shows Bugs as what do they call it? Unprovoked and agitator. Unprovoked agitator. Chuck Jones didn't like that.
That
So
describes Bugs Bunny, yeah.
So starting from about that cartoon forward, when Chuck was involved in the cartoons, he wanted to steer the narrative where Bugs was not unprovoked. He was always kind of acting off off of the other characters, and there was a banter. So that is what makes that cartoon, Wakiki Wabbit, pretty significant in the annals of history. So there you go, guys. And so for our movie today, Timecop, 1994, Jean-Claude, we have not seen any movies from him yet in our watch party, so this will be pretty choice viewing, I guess.
Yeah, it's this is the movie he did after Street Fighter.
And we have not seen Street Fighter, right? I think there was there were people out there, right, that we
Asking
want to do
for it.
Street
Yeah.
Fighter at some point.
Yeah. I've got an ancient DVD of it, which is just a direct port of the Laserdisc.
Okay.
And it's, you know how early DVDs, like really early DVDs, just didn't have the right digital transference? It's one of those where it just something just doesn't, it doesn't like a 1080p TV. It doesn't like, it's when DVD was, they knew it was going on to a CRT, and it just
Yeah, I
wouldn't.
seem to recall that back in the recesses of my memories. I think that was when the players, the DVD players, had a hard time deciding if it was if it was a plus or minus disc because there was this not a
Yeah, there
rivalry,
was. Yeah,
but it was kind of a mess as to what format was going to be generally accepted.
yeah,
And I think the DVD minus actually won that war.
yeah. Well, especially for copying, for data copying for home computer use, the minus R won out by far.
Yeah,
It had a slightly higher capacity than the plus R's, but the
I
plus
think
R, some of
so.
the plus R's were like, oh, it's a rewritable one. Well, why in the hell would you want to rewrite a DVD when they're that cheap? Once they got cheap.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so there you go, guys. Let's go ahead and kick this off. It is about what, about an hour and 38 minutes.
Give or take. Yeah.
Um, if you're watching it with commercials, there might be like two commercial breaks lasting about a minute and a half each. Um, don't worry, we can totally catch up. So,
Yeah.
no, we haven't started yet. Eric, we have not started the movie. So let's sync up at the Largo Entertainment Presents, where the Largo is blue,
Yes.
not the red one.
Yeah.
All right, so let's count them down, Alex,
All
and
right.
let's get on.
You got 5, 4, 3, 2. Yeah, yeah. 2, 1. Play.
All right, there we go, guys. All right, so it
And
does take a minute for it to kick on. So let me do a shout out. We have, okay, I am lagging over in Discord a little
I gotta
bit.
switch
Okay.
over back to the chat here.
Yeah, I don't want to lag too much. Okay, over in the YouTube chat, we have GH Zoner Matt, Calbot, Johnny Devick, Eric, Calbot, Johnny Devick. I don't want to miss anybody. All right, I think I got everybody over there. And in Discord, we have Matt over there, Mr. Furzel, Sith Sister, Calbot, Mr. Furzel. Am I missing anybody? Alex, you were
No,
over there
that,
briefly.
yeah, that looks like the whole gang to me.
That's the whole gang. All right.
Or at least
And
today's gang.
anybody new shows up, I want to make sure I acknowledge him, and I don't want to breeze past him. So,
Yeah.
all right. So we have an all-star cast in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, you are exactly right. Renaissance Pictures, the Sam Raimi influence as a producer.
Yep.
Yeah, this was, I don't want to say one of his first outings because he had been in the industry for quite a while up until this point. We have an all-star cast. Mia Sara is in it.
Yep.
Ron Silver.
Yeah. Oh God, he's in it for like half a minute, but I can tell they produced part of this in Canada. Kenneth Walsh, it's one of the senators at the beginning, which we will see in about 3 minutes.
Ooh,
And
he's one of the soldiers.
No, he's one of the senators
Oh,
when
one
it
of the
when it
senators.
when it when it
Okay.
jumps to present day. And who's his face? D-Day from Animal House.
Bruce McGill.
Him, yeah.
I think the last time we saw him in a watch party, I want to say it was my cousin Vinny. Um,
Yeah, he
am
played the
I,
sheriff. Yeah.
yep, am I remembering that wrong? Because he has quite a prolific career in Hollywood.
Yep.
Um,
He's still going too.
and yeah, he is still going. Um, GH, yeah, these credits look like a Canon group. Oh, way back in the day, huh? Um, and Mia Sarah, we saw her, of
Last in
course.
Legend.
Yep, we saw her in Legend, but we probably all know her from
Ferris Bueller.
Bueller. Yeah,
Hmm.
Ferris Bueller, which
I
is going to
also
be a really fun watch party when I get to getting it on the
yeah.
schedule. That'll be fun.
I also know Mia Sarah from the late '90s, so about 2 or 3 or 4 years after this. ABC did a miniseries slash split TV movie of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, featuring Patrick Dempsey, Mia Sarah, Michael Caine,
Whoa, that's
and
random.
I'm blanking on the guy's name, but he played the main character in FX, not the series, the movie. Brian Brown,
Um,
the
Brian
Aussie
Brown.
Brian Brown, yeah. And there's Bruce McGill on screen. Speaking right now is Kenneth Walsh, the white-haired fella. And we got Ron Silver over on the left.
And
Mr. Lawrence, whose first name escapes me, but he's well known from a variety of TV projects.
yes, and let me pull up his name.
He was on JAG for a while. He was on some Supreme Court show for half a minute. Been in a bunch of stuff.
What is his name?
Oh, he's in the IMDb credits somewhere. Give me a minute.
Scott Lawrence.
Scott him. Yeah, Scott Lawrence. Yeah.
Yep, there you go.
He's
And
one of
he's
the,
still active, right?
he's yeah, and he's one of those that guys
Yep.
when it comes to TV.
Oh, yes. Okay. The white-haired senator who's kind of leading this.
Yeah,
What was his name?
Kenneth Walsh
Okay. Yes,
or
he's
Welsh.
also one of those
Yeah,
guys.
yes, he is.
There he is.
He played the vice president in Day After Tomorrow, which I thought was hilarious. A Canadian playing the American vice president.
Okay, so this movie is kind of a mishmash of time travel, action, intrigue, mystery,
Cop drama.
martial arts,
Yeah.
love story, all rolled into one. Mr. Furzel comments, here we go. If time travel were ever really invented, it would retroactively destroy our timeline long before any oversight could be established. Which,
Pretty much.
if we get into like a really in-depth discussion about time travel and what it would realistically look like, it's kind of almost a circular argument.
Yeah, like it depends on which time travel elements you bring into the discussion. Because
Yep.
you almost have to say, well, yeah, I acknowledge that, but we're not going to bring that into the discussion.
Right. You
Otherwise,
do have to pick and choose.
everything goes to hell because there's concepts in this that are not in Back to the Future. There's concepts in Back to the Future that are not in this. There's concepts in the whole Infinity War Endgame films that are not in any of these. Yeah. But pretty much, like Mr. Frizzle said, the moment someone goes back, you're instantly creating a tangent. And
Exactly. Which
then
the Marvel
then
universe
you're instantly in
has
an
addressed.
alternate timeline. And as they described here a few moments ago, you can't go forward because it hasn't happened yet. The moment you make a tangent, you can't go back forward. Otherwise, you're jumping timelines. Not just moving through time, you're jumping actual timelines. So then that at which point your brain will go
Which,
entirely squirrely.
yeah, so when we're talking about the actual time travel, we just really have to suspend our logical brain
Oh, yes.
because obviously one of the points they bring up here, which I think they also bring up in Back to the Future, is you don't want to like meet your self at any other given time. You
Yeah.
want to stay away from yourself. But one of the points they make in this movie is that
Same matter can't occupy the same
they
space.
can't occupy the same space. Well, matter can't naturally occupy the same space as another object they can touch, but
Yeah. But they're making the point of the same, like meeting yourself.
yeah,
Like
so
if your current self slash future self gets too close to your old self or past self, bad things might happen.
yeah.
Who knows?
So time travel is always fun in a fantasy realm when they're bringing in these new elements. You can't change the past, you can't go forward, but yeah, they are in essence breaking their own
Oh, so
rules.
such a very '90s scenario right here.
And this is what Van Damme is known for.
Yeah, like and the thief is on rollerblades,
Oh yeah, in the mall.
neon accented rollerblades, and there's an automobile for auction or raffle in the shopping mall, which I haven't seen since the '90s.
There are probably very few malls left these days that could house a car.
Oh, some probably
So
could. I wouldn't trust those shopping malls to hold the automobile.
yeah, they are few and far between. Good question, GH. Here's a time travel question. How could they carbon date gold that was brought back from the past and therefore never aged? So, you're supposed to believe that their time travel authority, which they call the TEC, Time Enforcement Commission,
Yeah.
not to be confused with Marvel's Time Variance Authority, it's the governing body governing time travel that would have what the knowledge of all the timelines to know when it's being warped, when it's being changed. And I think they make the note that something has changed, the gold came in, and we see a change in the timeline. So how could you see? I'm full of so many questions. I just have to kind of let it go. But how could you see all these timelines governed by a computer
Yeah. I'm thinking this is
when
the
you're
second
already
thing.
going back and changing everything? So what do you know what the authentic timeline looks like?
Once time travel exists, you can't. But
There's
I'm
no
pretty sure this
original.
is the second bit of contract negotiation on Jean Claude's part. I need to have a kick. I need to have a love scene. I need to have a fight in my undergarments, which happens later.
Yeah, it happens. I think in the next scene, which is a pretty impressive move on his part.
The back
Underwear aside, I mean,
the backflip over the couch.
the
Which I think.
flip in the kitchen when he's on the counters.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I did not know this until I researched it a little bit further yesterday. He used to be a ballet dancer. He studied ballet for 5 years. That's what gave him that nimble, not just the strength, but the, what do they call it? The flexibility.
Yep. No, that one makes sense. And who was it? I think it was Mad Matt was posting all the Van Damme splits gifs in the Discord earlier. Everything from the Volvo commercial all the way back to Bloodsport and everything else.
Yep, and yeah, and I think Matt, when you did that, when
It was
when
him
you're
and
doing the
it
kick,
was Onzi and Mad Matt, I think.
Yep, and I think it was a direct reference to that scene coming up where he does that jump up onto the counters. Um, so,
Yep, Mr. Frizzle, that is Ferris Bueller's girlfriend.
um, so when we see this timeline, all the timelines going forward would be suspect, whether you're
Hmm.
going in a straight timeline or if it's already been altered by the past,
Yeah.
or it's the past has already creeped in.
Hmm.
Um, oh, Matt's saying, "Don't blame me, I didn't do it." I thought it was you that had the gif of him on the truck. Oh, it was Onsi. Yes.
Yeah. And I'm looking at this house. It's a nice house. It's a very nice house, but then I gotta wonder, wait a minute. He was
Oh.
a police officer in Metro DC or wherever the heck he was.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what her previous employment was or is. But that house can't be cheap. You're not affording that on a cop's salary. So what's going on?
In the suburbs of DC, you're damn right he wouldn't be able to afford it.
Yeah.
Even back in the 90s. So, Alex, could you adjust your
Oh,
volume?
yep. There we go.
GH points out that's why all this timey-wimey stuff is better avoided in storytelling unless you can create some kind of closed loop, which I think is impossible when you're dealing with time travel. I don't think you're able to create any kind of closed loop.
Back
There's
to the Future
always
1 almost does.
do what?
Back to the Future 1 almost does.
Mm,
From Twin Pines Mall, looping back to Twin Pines Mall.
Okay, and then yeah, I think that would be considered probably the most closed that Back to the Future gets. The second and the third, they get
Though
all
they go
over the
to hell.
place.
They go all to hell, yeah.
Yep,
We don't care and we enjoy them very much, but they go all to hell.
exactly. Yeah, and done well, time travel movies are very thought-provoking, interesting, and they lead to infinite possibilities in storytelling. And let's see, we are
House
less
still
than
booming.
15 minutes in, and we have a house blowing up. We've had fights, we've had killings. Is anybody keeping track of the kill count? Because we're probably up to about 10 so far, I'm guessing.
There's the Confederates at the beginning. There were about 5 of them. And whoever the heck he just dispatched here. Probably around 8 at least.
All right, we are jumping back. October 30th, 1929, which is, I think, the stock market crash.
Right before the crash, I think.
Right before the crash or the day of. And interestingly enough, all those horror stories that we have heard about stockbrokers in mass jumping out of their windows and committing suicide, that never happened. I think the official record shows maybe 2 killed themselves because of it. There was not a mass exodus. A lot of people, a lot of people were hurting.
Yeah. And
But just
not
like,
to be glib, but I'm pretty sure the life insurance policies wouldn't have paid out because they would have gone down the
yep,
toilet with the crash of the market
yep,
anyway.
yep. Yeah, GH, so that's how this flick got over 100 million at the box office. I think because it does have everything. It's got
Hmm.
sex,
Yeah.
action,
Yeah.
uh,
Drama.
Van Damme,
Yeah.
and it allows you to just
Go for the ride.
suspend the real world for just a little
Hmm.
while. Oh, Matt watched the Riff Tracks version last night. Yep.
Yeah. It lets you go along for the ride, and it's a quick 90 minutes.
Yeah,
So
it
the movie
is.
theater could air it 5 times in a day.
Um, so Calbot, barely tracking this movie, to be honest. Should have watched the riff tracks. What this movie is a little bit short on is
Exposition.
maybe the acting is a little stiff at times.
Well, yeah. I think
Just a little bit.
Ron Silver had already gotten his Oscar nomination for something else a while before this in the 80s, I want to say. I'm pretty sure Ron Silver had an Oscar nom in the 80s. I could be wrong.
Yeah,
But I
Ron
know
Silver.
after this he'd go on to do excellent guest spots on TV, long-term characters, recurring characters and such. Like what did I see him in the other day? What was it? Blue Steel with Jamie Lee Curtis. He was the quasi bad guy in that. He did some other stuff before in the 80s when his hair
Yep.
was more brown and he had more of it.
One of the ones I know him from, he was in The Entity. Silent Rage. He was in Silent Rage. That's Chuck Norris.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, he was in The Arrival, wasn't he? With he was in The Arrival after this. That was the Charlie Sheen attempted sci-fi movie.
Yep, he was in Blue Steel, which came out in '90, just a couple years prior.
Yeah.
Timecop, let's see, Deadly Outbreak came right after this, and it says direct to video. And
No,
The Arrival
probably.
came a couple years after this.
Yeah, I think I first saw him in The West Wing, and then I sort of went back and watched him on other stuff. He was in Law and Order a couple of times. He was in The Practice. Let me go back to the beginning of his stuff here. Oh yeah, Hill Street Blues. So yeah, he acted in the 80s. Everyone
Yep.
got on Hill Street Blues.
Okay, and here's another point about time travel Matt makes. His actions in the past with the stocks will alter that modern newspaper. Yes,
Yep.
anything you do in the past does have a ripple effect no matter what you try to avoid. You could completely stay out of history, but your very presence there will have an effect. And the very fact that he did order, 100,000 shares will alter the stock market, change the trajectory of everything. But if we remember, the center of this movie is not 1994, but 10 years in the future at 2004. So everything else would have to happen prior to that, even though the guy invented time travel in 94. Would that be the starting point that you can't go forward? Right? Or is it 2004 when this movie starts that you can't go forward past 2004? Or is it at any moment that you do time travel, you can't go forward from that moment that you time travel?
And we
Yes.
wouldn't find we wouldn't find out until someone actually invents time travel.
Yep. 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 And you know what? To all the I attribute Van Damme's acting. It's pretty stiff. I mean, he's no Shakespearean actor,
No.
but he's charming. He's very likable. He's
Yeah.
fun to watch.
And he has ever so slightly more range than Schwarzenegger.
Slightly. I don't think either one of them would ever be nominated for an Academy Award or anything,
Oh, probably not.
but they are delightful. That's a good term. They are delightful.
Yes. Speaking of delightful, and well, Schwarzenegger, because he was mentioned a second ago by me, is Twins on the list somewhere?
I have a very, very long
List. Yep.
and only 50
So many,
weeks,
only 50
52
weeks to do stuff in. Yeah, I know.
And I did already, for the most part, work this year, but I do have a couple open spots, and I've got a list this long of movies that I would like to fit in. Oh, so this is an interesting scene. So I don't want to give away too much for those of you that haven't seen this. Shout out if you have not seen this movie. And if you have, how long has it been since you've seen it? And do you remember the whole gist of the movie? Because that scene when he's falling and they can automatically, I don't want
Go
to say
back.
teleport, time
Well,
travel.
yeah, they've got a non-vehicle required method of time travel back to the present.
Right. So cover your ears if you don't want to hear my spoiler. So in the future scenes of this movie, we actually see how they travel, and it's vehicle driven, very much like Back to the Future. And but when they land, they're without that vehicle. When they come back, how do they come back without the vehicle, and do they come back in the vehicle?
And if the vehicle
So
is used to get back, shouldn't the vehicle also be used to get brought
to
back
move,
forward? Because
that's a good
you're
question.
you're then leaving that time vehicle in the ancient, in whatever the past is, and his instant death is, oh well, you were going to kill yourself anyway, so let's just let you keep going.
Yeah.
But then just physics doesn't make sense there, because
No.
he's no longer traveling at the velocity he was from having originally jumped out the window. He's sent back to halfway down, and your organs won't explode at that velocity. You'll just be in a whole hell of a lot of pain.
Yeah. So I'm not understanding that logic, and I'm sure it's a plot hole that who cares, right?
Yeah,
Just
it,
enjoy the movie.
it,
Matt is saying
it,
it's a time hole.
okay, yeah.
Perfect.
Well, and maybe the going through the time hole will get him to that needed velocity. We'll
Yeah.
see.
And yeah, when you come through the time hole, then you must show up in the vehicle. And so where's the vehicle go? I don't know.
And Mad Matt
It's
makes
just
just
one of
asked
those
the
things
sensible
that,
question: why did Future Boy get sent back to death in the past?
um,
Excellent
yeah,
question.
Matt, why did Future Boy get sent back to death in the past? Um,
He maybe
because
because
it was
he's
already his timeline in 1929.
maybe.
And I think they figured just send him back because that's when he's got to die. Otherwise, everybody saw him disappear midair, right? So then he shows up. He would have to show up a couple seconds before, because if everybody saw him vanish, then everybody saw him reappear without the guy holding on to him. Again, that's a good term. It's a time plot hole. But that was a nice and tidy death. But he did still buy the stock, and it still would have gone through, I think. So, Sith's sister is joking and saying, they blew up the house. I like that house, says the wife. They did. They blew up that house. And so, let's recap. This is 10 years after his wife is dead. And he knows that the senator is evil. At least that was part of the plot that we know now. That he already knows that the senator is bad. Yeah, and so there was reference in the chat that yes, Timecop is Van Damme's highest grossing film as a lead actor. It's his second to break the $100 million barrier worldwide. And this is quoting straight out of Wikipedia. Although met with mixed reviews, it is generally regarded by critics as one of Van Damme's best films. It's got a solid cast. It really does have a solid story with a lot of plot holes, but, we can give him that. Yeah, Mr. Furzel, why not just go back and get winning Powerball tickets? In terms of getting easy money in the past, that does not affect much. You could do a lot of things. Knowing what we know now, we could go back and make a hell of a lot of money. Um, Matt, you're on the money. Senator McComb is discount Hans Gruber. Yep. And the senator is now putting himself into the TEC, the Time Enforcement Commission, because what? He's running for president. He wants to know how this whole thing works, right?
Well, he already knows how it works because he's from back in '94 when they established the commission. He was the head of the Senate oversight. He took the role of head of that oversight committee. So he's
Oh,
known what
that's
it is
right.
for the last 10 years.
So he's coming in here to see. So makes you wonder why. Why did he just say that he wants to shut it down, huh?
Don't
Why
know.
would you want to shut it down if you weren't doing anything wrong, right?
Hmm.
So
And
I
this is just
think,
just the clappings on top of that particular car, but not all the other cars of 2004. And there's some they're framing it very nicely to hide all the cars from the 90s that who shouldn't be there in the 2004.
they they tried to, didn't they? But you could really see if you looked hard enough, you could see all the regular vehicles.
Hmm.
Very okay. So Calbot says they have Cybertrucks. It does look like a Cybertruck, didn't it? But it did look out of place.
Hmm. Though you look at what's around him in the limo, you know, probably video phone conferencing screen, television, video phone conferencing screen. Not something that wouldn't exist in a limo today.
But it didn't necessarily exist in 2004.
Yeah. Not in that way, anyway.
Right.
And, okay, the color bars in the TV, could they have not come up with something more creative to put on the television?
I thought stopped existing,
Color bars? No, they're still around.
right? Do they still exist?
Yeah. If you've got a local TV station that ends its broadcast day with the national anthem in a test pattern, then yeah, the color bars are probably still around.
That's true. I'm just so used to 24-hour channels. 24 hours a day, 7
Pretty
days a week. They
much.
never
Yeah.
stop.
See, now, oh yeah, that's because he's in this. Okay, yeah. Took me a second to think about why does he have a picture of his wife, but no, it's the same timeline. And he's got like a most American of names, and he's clearly French. And at least at the beginning of the movie, Mia Sarah made a joke with your accent. You better have mind reading powers.
Yeah, there's no mistaking that accent, and it's not like they hide it or cover it up or
You
try
can't.
to say it's something it's not. It's
Yeah,
just not
it's
really addressed.
no, and it's like with Sean Connery's accent in Red October or any other number of things. It's just simply not addressed.
Yeah. Didn't he try to sound Russian in Red October? It was a pretty thick accent.
Couple of lines, but then they did the excellent. We're not going to make you listen to Russian accents scene in the officer's cabin, where it just traces around the characters twice, and in two rotations or something of that amount, they're now speaking English, and that's the end of the need for Russians to be speaking.
But he still had that thick accent when they transferred to English.
Oh yeah.
And I think he still tried to maintain a Russian accent, but it got kind of lost in translation a little bit.
Yeah, and Sam Neill's Russian tinged English was better than Connery's.
Interesting how he's got a pretty high tech home,
It's
which
2004, man. Why wouldn't it be high tech?
yeah, and that's pretty commonplace nowadays. You have your house talking to you when you walk in the door.
Yeah. He's clearly got a widescreen display.
Yeah, and I like the fact that the tech in his home is not um, it's not overblown. It doesn't
Yeah.
steal the scene from the reality of just being a regular guy.
I don't get why regular guy has a water cooler in the corner when you have a sink.
Um, because there's a scene coming up where you need a water cooler.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I've watched
And I
this three
think
times this week and I forget that too.
and I think when they were writing the scene that's coming up, they tried to find a resolution to it, and they probably came up to the conclusion, we need a water cooler. That's
Yeah.
it. Just put a water cooler in.
There needs to be something.
No one's going to worry about it.
Now, is he in an apartment? Because I'm seeing balcony and fire escape.
Um,
Yeah, it must be an apartment of some kind.
right, because it wouldn't be the house that blew up, because it
No,
blew up.
because the house blew up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bauza brand whiskey. Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, Matt is saying a water cooler subscription was popular back then.
I
That's true.
suppose.
Most people did have it. Oh, yeah, Mr. Furzel also asked, why does he have a water cooler in his house? Isn't this mandatory for Van Damme to have at least one scene in
One fight
his
scene
boxer
in
shorts?
boxers. Yeah.
I think it's mandatory in Schwarzenegger movies too. At least one or two shirtless scenes.
Yeah. At least back
But
in the day.
With Van Damme, he does a lot with his legs because he's a kickboxer. That he has to show his legs as well. This is pretty impressive and fun to watch. This knife fight. At least they're both fighting with knives. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Van Damme is a top-rated kickboxer, martial artist.
Yeah, he was
What
a
is
world.
his specialty in the martial arts? What is it called?
Oh God, I'd have to look that up. Um,
I knew it at one
I
point, and he
know
was
he was.
like a
If he wasn't
almost
world
the top.
champion, if he wasn't world champion, he was world ranked.
He was almost up there, like top ranked.
And for being, pardon me, 2004, that's a rather bulky taser. Is the word I was
Yes,
is the word
that
I
was
was
just the
looking for.
beginnings of taser technology. Here we go, guys. This is why we need the water cooler to spill, uh, because the guy's got a taser. Okay, no one but Van Damme could have pulled this stunt off. That's impressive.
Yeah,
And I'm not just saying that because he's barely dressed.
and now here's Who's Her Face, who I remember from ER, but
Yep.
not much else.
Okay, Matt is saying Jim Kata. GH is saying Shotokan Karate. And kickboxing and ballet. Yep. Matt, Matt, thank you. Goodness, his boxers remain dry. Yeah, we would not want anything like
Any
wet
clinging
shorts.
or any.
Clean. Yep, and that's all I'll say. Um,
At least he went with boxers in this one as opposed to the briefs that he had in Bloodsport.
ooh, yeah, I'd have to watch that. Bloodsport's a fun movie too. Um, yeah, this is, I want to say Gloria Rubin's.
Yes.
Back in the 90s, she was very well known for ER because that's where I know her from as well. She was in, I think, 6 or 7 seasons of ER as
Sounds about right.
Jeannie Boulet, if I remember correctly. And I remember her distinctly as an actor on that show
Mm-hmm.
because this was early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
She was a nurse that contracted HIV and still worked and really was an advocate
Mm-hmm.
for bringing awareness to the disease.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, I don't know if it was earth shattering at the time, but I think it was not the norm. And it was kind of a breakout performance for her. So, all right. Matt, Gloria, sister of Paul Rubens. No, no relation. So this is a typical tech nerd, and
Of the
he's
era.
just a generic character that they're making in charge of all the tech on the computers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know he's got a name.
He's got a '70s look about him though, with the hair of that particular length and the beard.
Definitely a throwback to the '60s. Actually, that is a
Mm-hmm.
definite '60s, moving into '70s hippie look.
Well, he's got a look of the one of the members of Ram Jam, so performers of Black Betty.
Oh, there you go. Um, so I don't know if Gloria Rubin, oh, Rubin, not Rubens, I was putting an S on the end. Uh, I know she's done a lot of TV work.
Yep.
Let me see. Does she? Well, her film credits. This is her second movie appearance. She first appeared in Wild Orchid 2, Two Shades of Blue. Um,
Oh, she was in Lincoln. Okay, yeah, she was Mr. Robot. Oh yeah, she was in Falling Skies for part of a season.
she was in Lincoln.
Yep.
A lot of these movies, oh, the remake for Firestarter she was in.
It wasn't
Okay.
great.
I know she was in a lot of the Jesse Stone TV movies.
With Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck. Yep.
What else was she in?
Okay.
I'm just going back to the '90s. Okay,
Um,
Timecop, Dead Air.
so
He was on Homicide.
we're led to believe that this is how they time travel. They have to get into a souped up DeLorean. And I'm guessing it has to go, what, 88 miles an hour
Don't know.
within a short period of time. Okay. Which leads me to ponder. So they need to be in a vehicle going a certain miles per hour to break through to this time travel, this membrane.
I guess.
So when you come back through the membrane, do you have to go that speed again?
If we're following Star Trek 4 rules, yes. Because slingshot on the sun, you're in time warp. You got to do the same thing to get back.
But okay, I don't think we're going to go there because there really is no resolution in this movie. How about, oh, very clever, they combined a flux capacitor with an oscillation overthruster.
Oscillation overthruster, is that from Buckaroo Banzai?
That sounds like it. Overthruster. Or, yep, that is a reference from Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai.
Now, is it just the physical sensation of going that fast for the time travel that made Van Damme have to have that particular reaction? Because he's done this before. She hasn't. And then where'd the car go?
Exactly.
They just done got dropped into the Potomac. I'm presuming it's the Potomac. That's the only river around D.C. that I know of.
Yeah.
The Jefferson Memorial.
So time travel has advanced. So it's a little different than what they did in Back to the Future, right? Because where you time traveled in Back to the Future is where the exact point that you landed in that space in
In
your
the
given
past,
time
yeah.
that you traveled. But
Yeah.
here, I guess you can pick where you land.
Where you want to go.
So yeah, the car disappeared. There's no explanation, but that's okay. All right.
And I like that they used the Jefferson Memorial here. Because, well, clearly it's on the river, so that's easier to use. And probably easier to film against, but then, they're in parts of D.C. that I'm pretty sure that's a matte painting of the Capitol behind them. But
Yeah. Yeah, I believe that was filmed on location, I believe. Yeah, there are a few like on location shots. Okay, GH is applying logic to this movie. If they use that slider to go back initially, then why can they just walk back later? That's a very good question. Yeah, so Matt, it travels in time and space. They can travel in time and space, but they don't give any exposition as to how that's possible. Because no matter what the explanation is, it would never fully cover the time travel loop explanation. Yeah, so there you go. So now we're into a buddy cop scenario. Very much so, Calbot. TARDIS tech. Yeah. Although when they travel in the TARDIS, it's at least a physical device that travels with them and is always present. And an actual device they have to get into to travel around. Yeah, TARDIS is to me the coolest way to time travel. So we're back in 94? Is that it?
When
did we go back to?
94. They don't give us timestamps and stuff on that stuff. But around then, I want to say, because here's Parker, the other fellow that. I think this is supposed to be the guy that invented time travel, or the partner of the guy that invented time travel. I forget exactly what.
Yeah, and I think we're beginning to suspect that the senator is dirty and up to no good.
Well, now there's two of them here, so there must be something
Yep.
going on or nefarious going on.
it's an interesting scenario. So there's a reason why the older senator is coming back to talk to his younger self.
Oh, Mad Matt tells us his time tricorder handheld palmy device thing showed the date. So yeah, they're in 94. October 94.
Yeah, Matt says when they show traveling in time, no one accounts for the planet Earth has moved to a new location. Yep. Pretty interesting. What that would be the CGI trick showing two senators, an older and a younger. They're trying to show them in the same shot, which is unusual because we're so used to in the olden days of
Well,
movie making,
they
you would
would have
have a
just
split screen.
they would have just shot it twice and then composited it because it's
But you
not.
would never see one cross the other. And
They
I
wouldn't
believe in the early
cross the
90s, this
other.
was a
Yeah.
newer technology where they would
Well,
cross.
they could get into yeah, that sort of digital compositing because I'm thinking of anytime I think of two people on the same screen play with the same person, my mind goes immediately to Haley Mills and Parent Trap, and yeah,
Parent Trap.
they never crossed the seams, as it were.
Exactly.
So
Because it was always split screen. And when you saw them both, it was always, one of them was from the back and it would always be the double. But
well,
here we're
that was
getting into the
easy with
technology
yeah.
where they
You
would
can do them
cross
both. Yeah.
one over the other.
Well, there's some scenes in the original Parent Trap where you can clearly tell they just did a composite because
Yeah.
the lighting was slightly off, the mirror positioning, whatever. But it worked at the time. It still works, but
Well, for back in the day, early 60s, I believe, is when it was made. It was pretty ingenious.
yep.
And nobody complained, I guess. Matt is saying, don't cross the seams. All right, we have our first double cross coming up. Or maybe the only one in this movie. Oh, Mr. Furzel over there in Discord posted a link for a scene out of Minority Report. That was a very interesting, time, not so much time travel, but
Sci-fi thriller.
yeah, psychological messing with your head, reading minds, thriller. It's a very good movie.
Uh-oh.
Double cross. He never saw it coming. And apparently, neither did the TEC when they hired her. Obviously, did they not do background checks? Did they not check her phone records or anybody tracking who she's talking to? Nothing?
No, why on earth would they do that?
Because if you're time traveling and you're not a very good person, you could seriously mess up the world. Was there a reason? Did they explain why there was this liquid nitrogen coolant?
Well, because if that's the early time travel machine, they'd need to cool it somehow.
Oh, I guess you're right.
I presume.
Oh, you're right. Matt says Bewitched and Jeannie did it all the time with Evil Cousin episodes. Oh, that's right.
I haven't watched Bewitched in forever. Though I remember watching it on lunch hours in elementary school because my local station would air Three's Company or Bewitched or something else. This is, of course, back when local TV stations had to fill airtime, and what can we get for cheap? And oh, you want the entire catalog of Bewitched to run for 3 years? Here you go.
Yep.
We'll quote you a number.
And by then, I believe the syndication fees
We're
were
probably for shows
probably
of that
nothing.
age. For that age, they would have been dirt cheap. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
it's like airing all of Three's Company or something else of that era wouldn't cost nothing.
I remember I Love Lucy, Hogan's Heroes,
Mm-hmm.
Dick Van Dyke Show.
Excellent. And we just saw on Ron Silver's face, on old Ron Silver, a scar show up from something happened to young Ron Silver only moments before.
Which obviously would change the trajectory of the older senator.
Yep.
Okay, Matt and GH are mentioning the cold manufacturing for the computer chips. Yeah. Room temp superconductor, still working on it, I think. Yeah. But
Yeah.
that is super cooling, isn't it? You just have to keep it at a cool temperature. But I think you're right, GH. They were probably working on it.
Yeah. And I forget, there was some movie or show I was watching the other week, where they brought up, the organization, company, whatever, that can get, certain types of superconducting tech to be able to run at room temperature. Which I think they said, well, if we can do that, then we can do cold fusion, and then power and whatever doesn't have to be nuclear or this or that. Who knows if the hell any of that's actually real, because it was a movie or a TV show. But yeah, I think there's certain techs that incremental building blocks, right? Like, well, we can't get, like, we'd like to do this. Well, you can't do that until you make sure this actually works. And clearly,
That's true. They have to work on every step
yeah,
before they get to the actual working prototype. Whole bunch of steps need to be achieved first. Good point, Matt. What if young McComb now thinks that old McComb is a jerk and rethinks his life choices?
true.
Then, by the very fact, if that had happened, then the old McComb wouldn't know any better to be evil, to have to come back and remind his younger self to be evil, right?
Oh, okay, clearly liquid. Okay, that's
Liquid nitrogen.
liquid nitrogen. Ah, okay, yeah,
Ugh, hell of a way to go.
yeah. Well, at least
That
they
would have been the perfect time for.
at least they only had like his arm and part of his chest shatter. They didn't have his whole body shattered.
Right. Oh, that would have been a ripoff of Terminator, right?
At this
Terminator
point, yes,
2.
yeah, it would have been a ripoff. Yeah,
And I'm thinking at that point when the guy fell and died, Van Damme, that would have been a perfect time to have some kind of catch line
yeah,
that
catchphrase.
Schwarzenegger
Yeah,
had, but then that would obviously be a ripoff. And we would
yeah,
have said, he stole that from Terminator, right?
yeah.
All right, she knows karate too. There is no honor amongst thieves.
Yep.
How she thought he would be loyal to her is beyond me. Matt, it's a paradox. Yeah, this whole movie is a paradox. But it's a fun story, and we can just go along for the ride. Okay, so McComb in his little box created the membrane to go to another space and time. He was not in a vehicle. So does he show up at the new place just free and clear? Didn't need a vehicle after all, right?
I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, and then
Oh, is
here's the vehicle coming back. So what the hell?
he didn't really have to, did he? Hmm.
And now
So
it says
time,
Macomb Data Link now. So he's now
yep.
jumped
So
timelines.
it had the past has now affected the future,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, the boss man doesn't know things have changed.
Because he's just gone through time as normal.
He went through it as normal. So the only person that would know something is off. Okay, so the only person that would know something is off is the guy at the computer, Richard, at the computer, right? He has to know at all times when something goes off,
Mm-hmm.
even though he himself doesn't travel through time.
Yes,
But here he is.
I'm with Mad Matt. What? How did the vehicle turn around and come back? And the frozen cold kill rips off Demolition Man from '93. I need to
Oh, it
rewatch that
does?
movie. For the very
Oh,
end of Demolition Man, yeah, there was a.
okay.
Didn't we do Demolition Man back in?
All right, audience, have we done Demolition Man? Maybe a couple years ago?
Because
I'm going to say yes.
isn't that how Wesley Snipes bites it at the end of Demolition Man?
Okay, I think we have seen it. Oh, okay, Matt, now you're talking sense. Do they have to retrain the time cops to know to new current events after each job? Yes, you would have to. You
Yeah,
would have to know how the
that's
past affected the present.
that's the end of the Days of Future Past movie, where Wolverine says, "You got to tell me everything that happened after 1973."
Exactly. Yeah, Calbot says, yeah, we did it in Creator VC days. Yeah, I seem to recall we did that many, many moons ago.
Hmm.
And Matt, how does the vehicle travel in reverse? It doesn't. The car is now magically turned around on a track that doesn't exist where it was. I don't know.
And Techie Guy now is '90s Techie Guy with the with a man ponytail,
Right. So he went along with it too and doesn't know things are off.
and
So then how can
he's wearing a
he be in
blazer of
charge
some
of it?
sort and a turtleneck. So he's no longer
How can he be in
Shaggy.
charge of dictating anything?
He's not
I don't know.
Shaggy Tech Man. He's and yet somehow, well, this is future Ron Silver.
Right. This is 2004, right? We're back in 2004. So we seem to, at this point, we seem to be only jumping between 1994 and 2004 with the occasional, what, 1929, 1863.
Yeah,
But for the most part now, we're stuck with this 10-year back and forth.
yeah. I was just wondering, just timeline wise, where we were, because clearly his assistant there still got punched in the face by Ron Silver. So we still had the cotton up his nose from his nose being broke or impacted.
Yeah, some of it, a lot of it doesn't make sense in time travel ease.
And we've now got soldiers with M16s that we didn't have before.
Okay, so I'm going to throw it out there because it just occurred to me. So if Macomb, whose name is now all over this department, yeah,
Hmm.
Matt is saying Macomb Company signs on the wall. Why would Macomb, being as evil as he is, even allow this to continue? Wouldn't he want to be the only one to time travel?
You would think.
And he knew it 10 years ago when he went back and talked to his old self. What he should have said was, keep this tech to yourself, don't allow anybody else to do it.
Well, I think he went back to a point that was after the tech existed, so word of the tech was already out, and they were already looking at maybe. Well, no, that might not make sense because
Yeah.
the whole first scene with the Senate crew at the beginning was appropriating the money to build the organization, right? So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. Yeah, boss man, what, Matusak.
Matuzik, yeah.
Matuzik. Thank you. Good guy, just now bit the dust.
Mm-hmm.
This scene, when he shows up right in front of that truck, I
Mm-hmm.
remember that scene blasted all over the trailers, all over TV commercials
Mm-hmm.
back in the day. That is an iconic scene because he almost
And
died.
yeah, but clearly when I'm looking at the him standing up, he's standing in front of a blue screen and he's
Of
optically
course.
composited.
There's no insurance company in the world that will insure this production if they were to say, okay,
We
so
want
Van Damme,
is gonna.
stand still and just when the truck passes over you. Yeah, GH, that was one of the coolest shots for the trailer. It is. It's a remarkable shot. Uh-oh, now we got the wife again, so we got to be back in 94.
Yep. Well, she is wearing her very 1994 blazer, so.
What is his partner's name? Um,
Oh, that went back to 29 and started screwing around? I forget.
what
I said it
is
at the beginning, but I forget.
Sarah Fielding? There we go. Sarah Fielding. So she survived by the grace of the gods of filmmaking.
Mm-hmm.
She should have been dead, but she made it. This really is the last ditch effort, right? By him coming back in time to
Mm-hmm.
save everything.
Mm-hmm.
Is it just me, or has Van Damme, his hair is flawless, right?
Well, that's what hair and
It's
makeup people are for.
it's never gotten messy. He's never had to comb his hair. It's just one of those things that I happen to notice.
And
Yeah,
he's
Bueller,
even
Madison
even
Beer.
in 2004, he's got his 90s mullet. So good for him.
Yeah, that is 90s. Um, okay, that picture that you posted in Discord, Alex,
Yeah,
that is from
Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer.
Yeah,
Yeah, Mr.
Oppenheimer was
Furzel. Yeah,
weird.
that movie was weird.
Oppenheimer made sense to me.
It's sad and compelling and
An ass crusher of a watch all the way through.
yeah, yeah. It took a lot to get through. It was like what? I want to
Three and a
say.
half hours long.
I was gonna say three.
Anyone that made a double
Was it
feature of
really
that with Barbie, if they made Oppenheimer the second feature,
three and a
probably
half?
regretted it. Because I think Barbie and Oppenheimer running times alone would be about 6 hours,
Oh, good
give or
Lord.
take. But then you've
Okay.
got,
The of-
one first and the other with a small break in between. Damn.
the official record has Oppenheimer at about 3 hours, Barbie at about an hour and 54.
Okay, so 5 hours.
I
Okay.
had I have done a hard pass on Barbie,
Not bad. Not
and I heard it
spectacular,
was
but not
not
bad.
bad, but ugh.
Why did it pair
So
with Barbie? Because
coincidentally,
because the
okay.
Mad Matt says, why did it pair with Barbie? Because Barbie had, when they wanted they knew what their release date was going to be, and Oppenheimer's producers there in the studio said, oh well, we want this to be our release date, and they apparently called Margot Robbie and says, can you move the release date? And she went, no. these movies can both exist in the theater at the same time, so that's what we're going to
Yeah.
do.
And they did very well.
And they both did very well. Both
They
benefited off
did.
the other.
Well, that just goes to show it's not so much about release date. If you've got quality content, people will go to the theater more than once.
Oh, yeah.
They'll see your product.
Yep.
This is an interesting scene. So coincidentally, he came upon his wife's blood. I mean, this is a like a purposeful plot point. Got his wife's blood, found out his wife was pregnant when she died. So does that change history? Would that change his outlook on things? You bet.
And we're back at the shopping mall.
Okay, we are still in 94. And he's in the mall a little bit before he would eventually show up. So, did this happen this way originally at the beginning of the movie? Or is this an alternate timeline?
It's now an alternate timeline because he's now
Gotta
interacting
be.
with the thief kid.
That's right, because he now changed what the thief did from what he did before. And I think they've got elements of the infinite timelines that Marvel did a pretty good job of handling. Because now we've got so many different timelines that had he chose to come back at a different time, do different things, you have infinite timelines on just this one scene.
Yeah, they had elements of this sort of interacting at the same place with different versions of yourself on that old, well, now 20-year-old show Heroes, where one of the characters was a time traveler. And in one or two of the seasons where they actually dealt with the effects of time travel, and there was one key set or scene from the first series that shows up again in the last season, and the one character's trying to just the time traveler's trying to do certain things, and then one of the new main characters of this last season basically says, no, look where you are. You can't disrupt that. You can't disrupt that. You can't disrupt that. You can't disrupt that. So be very careful with who you interact with here.
That is an interesting point. Heroes was way back in 2012.
2006.
Was it?
It's 20 years old now.
Oh, maybe it ended in 2012 because it ran for about 5 or 6 seasons, didn't it?
It was something like that. It was like 4, but there was a strike in the middle of it. So yeah, 4 or 5 years. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole show was about people with these supernatural abilities.
Yep.
And that one pivotal character that did time travel, and I think he did it with his friend on multiple occasions.
Multiple occasions. Yep.
Yep. That's right, Matt. Save the cheerleader, save the world was the season 1 tagline. Yep.
That's a show that I can still revisit and enjoy, even as it was happening, I was like, okay, they're choosing to do this. Not my favorite, but I'll keep watching it. But then that's one of those, if it was just a one-season wonder and that was it, would have been still a solid season of television. But they
could have ended it after season 1.
They were on NBC, so back then NBC actually gave shows a chance, so they got 4 seasons out of it.
Why was she reacting so weird to seeing her husband? Like she knew it wasn't him?
Well, he clearly
just aged 10 years.
He looks older. His hair's different. He's wearing a different outfit.
But it's still him.
It's him, but it's 10 years older him.
Yeah. And then he refers to
with his
his
perfectly coiffed hair, because there's his past self walking up behind him with
with
his
perfect hair as well.
with his non mullet hair.
And it's interesting. His future self is referring to his past self as him, right? Not me, him as a separate person to get his wife to differentiate, right? Oh, Matt, yes, that picture. He was one of the stars of Heroes. He was the guy who could read minds, I
He was a
believe.
mind reader. Yeah,
He was like a telepath. Yeah.
yeah.
Matt and Kathleen, happy anniversary. Mark, no, Darkman. Oh, that's right. That was his character's name on the show. He was Darkman or something like that.
Parkman.
Parkman.
Yeah.
Parkman. That's right.
And and they actually had one thing I liked with that show is they actually had, as the seasons went on, they had powers progress. So he started as a mind reader, and then being a telepath, his powers evolved into pull becomes push, and he could start planting thoughts and having people do things, which I thought was kind of neat.
Yeah. That was a very interesting show. Very diverse range of characters and actors.
Well, I think I can see maybe why they got the house for cheap, because it was a massive fixer-upper. I'm seeing plaster all over the walls.
And it didn't seem to fit the neighborhood. It looks like it might have been an upscale neighborhood, fixer upper. Matt, thank you. Greg Grunberg as Matt Parkman.
Yeah, Greg Grunberg from Alias before Heroes. He was
Alias is early
that.
2000?
Yeah, that was like 2001ish. That was Jennifer Garner played the spy, and he was
Yep, 2001.
he was one of the CIA guys. And he's still friends with J.J. Abrams, as far as I know. I think that's part of the, well, he's a good actor, but I think also part of the reason he was in Alias and Felicity and some other stuff was because he was best friends with J.J. Abrams, which doesn't hurt.
There you go.
The homeowners association ordered the hit to get rid of the eyesore of a house. Well, that's some
There you
cold
go.
ass homeowners association, Matt.
Yep. You thought HOAs were crummy now. I bet they were
I mean, I've heard
doubly
stories,
crummy
but
back
dude,
then.
that's
Yeah.
I've heard stories, but damn, man, that's cold.
She's actually handling this very well, dealing with two different versions of her husband.
Mm-hmm.
And why wouldn't you believe the future husband who has been through time travel?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, GH, telling him she was preggers would stop me. Yeah, didn't his older self tell her not to tell him? Because now the older self knows she's pregnant. That she was told not to tell him, but she told him anyway? Am I reading that scene wrong?
Don't know, but I think it's because he doesn't want to. Well, he's already messed with stuff, but
Yeah.
if he wants to keep his timeline intact, certain revelations can't have happened to his younger self. I don't know.
Well, if we use that logic, then she still has to die.
That's what I'm trying to figure out, is that, if she, knowing the ending like I do, I'm trying to figure out, wait a minute.
No. she still has to die, otherwise things are changed
The
for the
time
future.
traveler's menage a trois. Interesting.
So this hitman, I'm sorry, as a
Not
hitman,
a very good
you
hitman.
would why would you wear the big old loop earrings?
Because you're a buffoon? I don't know.
As a pure fashion choice, that's fine. Your day to day attire, you can wear your big hoop earrings, but when you're on a hit, not a good idea. Okay, Mr. Furzel brings up a good point. At least he would still be at TEC regardless of her death or rescue. Would he, though? That's what I'm wondering. Is he in it because of her death kind of catapulted him on that trajectory to want to make things right?
Well, no, because after the shopping mall, he was going to go take the job with uh, D-Day there. So he was already planning to take the job.
Okay. Okay, so that's fair enough. He was, yeah. And Mr. Furzel is acknowledging that too. He already accepted the job before she died. So that wouldn't have changed anything. Matt says the hitman was attending a Road Warrior convention. Probably. Got his fashion advice from Mad Max. Okay, chat.
Now,
Um,
I've climbed on a roof or two in my time. Never that particular pitch of roof, but still,
okay,
in
I'm going to
in
throw it out there.
in that particular dressing gown, I don't.
In that rain,
Yeah, good luck with grip.
that that is a very artificial looking rain to me. I've
It
never
is.
ever lived in a place that has rain like that. That's obviously a rain machine. Does anybody get rain like that in real life where they live or have ever seen?
Uh, we had a weather system come through earlier in the week where we had massive tornado warnings within a 45-minute window, and rain was coming down for a limited period of time in sheets like that.
Yes.
But this is meant to be your average rainy night.
This is a rainy night
What
and
I
this
had was
keeps
not
going
that.
on. Right.
What I had was not that.
Yeah. Good point, Calbot. Did Harlan Ellison time travel and steal the idea from Timecop? Did he? And then he went back and wrote that time travel uh, Star Trek episode. And he also dealt with, he was an avid writer on sci fi, wasn't he? I think he was an avid sci fi writer.
Yeah, he was did a bunch of short stories and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, he did a lot. Oh, GH. Okay. No, James Cameron stole the idea from him and then acted like he had no idea. Yeah, bad, and then sued himself. It's it's a never-ending loop. It just keeps going round and round. It's never closed. Infinite possibilities about who could have done what and stolen from what. That's what makes time travel so fun.
Okay, he's looking at the clothesline.
The clothesline. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. A basket of clothes was just left.
Outdoors in the rain. It's like, okay.
Yep. Okay. But we need that for this scene coming up. We need the clothes. Oh, wow, guys. This movie is just rolling along.
Yep.
Is anybody watching it and had those commercial breaks and needs to catch up at all?
Yes, old Johnny Devick. That's one of the best time travel episodes of TV ever done. It contains its own logic. It sticks to its own logic, and the show sticks to that logic later.
Okay, refresh my memory, Johnny Devick. The great time travel episode in Fringe with Peter Weller, was it in the later seasons?
It was in two, I want to say.
Okay.
If you watched all of Fringe, it's the episode that made the white tulip a thing.
Okay. I will have to catch that again. Good show. It's just been a while since I've revisited.
And they circled back to it in the finale, where you know they wondered in the lead up to the finale. Oh well, if such and such is successful, how will we know? And then the father, played magnificently by John Noble, who deserved 4 Emmys for that show,
He was brilliant.
didn't get any of them. Wasn't barely. I don't even think he was nominated barely once. Yeah, no. They called back the white tulip thing, which was
Yeah, that was a great sci-fi oriented show. It didn't rely on sci-fi to tell the story. It was a part of the storytelling,
yeah,
which I loved. It relied more on a story, the actors, the writing, the characters.
yeah.
Time to
the
revisit Fringe.
The first season was more of the thing of the week than like it evolved in like the back half of the first season, started getting away from thing of the week, case of the week, whatever of the week, and then season two branched off. They still had thing of the week a little bit, but they had more lore stories and brought up more backstory, and then
Yeah, and I
season
think
three,
season
four, and five
two,
a lot better.
that was when they delved into what, the alternative
The
universe.
alternate universe, yeah, because season one, the spoiler part of my brain just sparked off saying spoiler, spoiler, but like the show's going on 15 years old. Too bad.
Yeah,
This
it is a what?
season one ends with a alternate reality jump and brings in the Leonard Nimoy character.
Oh, God, that's right.
And then
That is definitely worth a
when they
rewatch.
draw out of the window with where the two characters are, they're in his office in the World Trade Center. So that's how the one character knows, oh yeah, I'm not on my planet anymore.
That's right. It's bringing the memories back. Matt is mentioning Fringe also had great rewatchability. You could
Hmm.
see things hidden in plain sight when you know to look for them.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Hmm. Yeah, I need to go back and watch that because I have a sneaky feeling one or two of my discs might be having some Warner Brothers disc rot,
Ooh,
which really
that's
kind of
no
ticks me
good.
off when it's like one disc out of an entire season.
Ooh,
Then I'm like,
yeah.
okay, well, and I think I've got some Warner Brothers disc rot possibly on my West Wing stuff. So I'm like, oh crap, I'm gonna have to buy these both on Blu-ray now.
Yeah, make sure you get them
Not that
before.
they wouldn't look great on Blu-ray, but they're going to be out of print on Blu-ray at some point.
Exactly. A lot of that stuff is out of print, and they're going to stop production on all new stuff. So that means you got to pick up the old stuff when you can.
Yep.
Okay, did we see the part, a lot of action, a lot of guys dying in this movie, where her character shows up, her older self comes back? There was a part where her older self comes back
No,
and
for older self, no, she never time travels.
she never time travels. Okay, I thought for sure I saw her time travel, and I'm like, where did she come from? And then it was like a split second and she was gone.
I don't remember that. No,
Okay.
unless you've got some weird extended cut that I don't have.
No, I don't think so. I think we all have the theatrical cut. Aha, so now we have two Senator McCombs about to be blown to smithereens unless, here we go. And this scene is not as disturbing as they really could have. They could have gone all out at this point with
Yeah.
some pretty horrific CGI effects.
Not 94.
That's true. This is pretty tame. They could have gone with some practical effects if they
If
wanted, but
Well, like I'm just thinking of when the one character basically flails Johnny Storm in Deadpool and Wolverine, basically sucks his skin off, and he's as a pile of guts and bones. If this was done now, they would have done that. They would have just went,
oh, that's true.
and then you're a pile of mess. Senator McBlob, yes, and the house
It's
still
pretty
blows
tame,
up.
but it has the desired effect.
The house still blows up, and where's his younger self? Didn't his younger self fall off the roof or something? So he's in the backyard, maybe.
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, there's his younger self.
And GH owner asks the sensible question: why did he carry her out when he could have just tossed out the bomb? Did he know where the bomb is? I don't know.
And was there only one bomb? I thought there was more than one. I thought we saw two of them being placed. Okay, dude, I would say call 911.
Yeah,
His
considering
pregnant wife
his
just
pregnant
got
wife
shot.
got shot through the back into her relative abdomen. Okay, Parker data link now. Okay, so he knows
Okay.
that's changed back. But you know,
Yeah, and he came back in the DeLorean.
yeah,
Well, came back to the future. So
and
now we're in.
we've got '60s IT man again.
Yep. So everything is as it should be. I think in order for that to happen, he had to have gone back further in the past.
Yeah,
But all that's a
and
technicality.
here's a bit of exposition happening. You up and walking around? Yeah, been doing that since I was 2. I like that.
Keep in mind, so my only complaint on this scene is that Matuzak knows that he just came back from time travel. So when he's talking about things that are different now, shouldn't he have paid attention? Like, dude, you just came back. What are you not telling me, right? Why is this different than what it used to be?
And it's like he says, Senator McComb, is like, didn't he, walk out of his office one night and disappeared? It's like, oh, you might know something about that.
Yep. Yep, Matt, he became Senator McBlob. Mr. Furzel is pointing out that that perv has pics from, how do you pronounce that? Hajime Sorayama? Oh, those are pretty cool pics. I did not even notice. Bobby Morgan. Okay, so she's working in the time travel department now, so you shouldn't be surprised when someone says something off-putting like that. Like, oh my God, how did he know? Like, he's a time traveler. Ah,
And now he's got his special car that's, okay, yeah, just out and about driving. And the house is rebuilt exactly as it was.
right.
Okay.
Right. So, okay.
Now,
Obviously, all is right with the world.
yeah, and his kid's wearing
Yay.
3 layers: a long sleeve shirt, an Oxford shirt, and a vest.
If we're on the same kind of timeline, it would be in the fall in the
Okay.
suburbs of DC. So it would be cold, right?
Well, chilly-ish, I guess. Yeah. Just seems like a plaid shirt on top of a turtleneck sweater seems extreme or unnecessary. I'm just nitpicking wardrobe at this point because the movie's
Of
basically
course.
over.
Because why not? So Matt is asking, okay, the big question, what happened to current Walker that had a kid and rebuilt his house when our Walker returns?
Well, one thing they never got into, Mad Matt, with this movie is the mental correction that has to happen for future Walker every time he comes back. His brain should mental correct to have 2 sets of memories and then 4 sets of memories and however many exponential sets of memories,
You would
right?
have to
So
if you've been time traveling all of those tangents. You would have to know to
yeah,
keep them straight, right?
yeah. Like you still have your prime or original memories, but then you'd have your next set, next set, next set, next set.
Don't know.
So they should be having routine MRIs after coming back from everything just to see what's going on with their brain.
And at some point, wouldn't it just erode your brain, or you would just go absolutely crazy with all of these memories? I
Depends if we
Good
actually only
question.
use whatever the scientific number is, 17% of our brain capacity. There's still space in there.
Yeah. So anybody wants to come up with a good explanation, it's as good as anything else. Um, GH, I think they
That's a
left the
good tie
movie.
into next week's Man with Two Brains. We need 2 brains for this operation.
Yes. GH is saying, I think they left the movie when they did, so they did not have to answer that question. That's as great a question as any. Okay.
Yep.
Sith Sister. Okay. Is it one of his best movies? But being high concept was a risk for the subject. Agree.
Hmm.
But it's a fun ride and decent performances. Wife's Cheese rating, Time Cop isn't necessarily a high art masterpiece, but it hits the sweet spot for movie entertainment, much like the Deer Creek Rattlesnake Cheese. Ooh, a rich, velvety, and semi hard cheddar that blends with a sweet taste from the gold tequila infused bite and then finishes with a sharp, lingering heat from the habanero pepper. With an explosive time bending climax, Time Cop is a notoriously cheesy 90s action flick that, when paired with the rattlesnake cheese, makes for a legendary movie night. Great. I love that. Um, Deer Creek Rattlesnake Cheese. If it's a real cheese, I think I'm going to have to search that out. That sounds absolutely delicious. And Matt's interpretation of Time Cop is bad cheese that keeps repeating on
Hitting on
you.
you.
Alrighty then.
So you're
But
saying you're saying it's American cheese?
ooh, maybe that's been sitting out on the counter for 3 or 4 days.
Possibly. Yeah.
Well, that has been great fun. Um, we could have gone off on so many tangents and tried to dissect the movie and pull apart everything, but when it comes down to it, it's just good old fashioned fun.
Yep.
Yes, so next week is The Man with Two Brains.
Classic Steve Martin.
It is classic, and a lot of moviegoers, a lot of fans say it's his best work. I don't know. I think that's up for debate. I think we can all debate it next week.
1983, made by Carl Reiner.
Yep, exactly. It is, I want to say, an all star cast. I mean, there are some pretty well known names in it. If you haven't seen it, it is readily available on all the services.
Hmm. Oh, another David Warner
So,
picture. Nice. Okay.
so you should not have any problem seeing it. It is a treat. I must say, even if you're not a Steve Martin fan, if you like a subdued, it's pretty subdued and sublime, like Steve Martin tends to be. Although The Jerk, I think that was his first bold move into movie making.
Yeah.
That was not subtle. That tended to hit you over the head a little bit.
No, yeah. You couldn't have known that was Iron Balls McGinty.
And I thought about The Jerk. It's on my list, maybe at some point.
Yeah. Like
Um,
and like later Steve Martin, like 90s era Steve Martin, like Sergeant Bilko is good.
right.
Uh
Roxanne was good.
yeah,
Um,
Father of the Bride 1 and 2 were good.
um, Three Amigos, late 80s.
Three
That was
Amigos. Yeah.
very good also.
And oh god, what else was yeah, nothing else is jumping to mind. Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid, but
That was 80s.
yeah, well, Dead Men Don't
Yep.
Wear Plaid, you almost want to just do a name the movie they've cut
Oh,
in for that, which
yeah,
would
they
just be
had to get the
distracting.
rights
Yeah.
to
So
so many
much
different
stuff.
movies.
Because it would be one thing if they were just using Universal, right? All Universal pictures, but they
Oh
didn't.
no.
They went. We want Fox. We want United Artists. We want this. We want that. We want this. We want
Yep,
that. They're like, well, why? Because it's in the script.
that's right. Okay, just to throw out a lot of other movies, he was in Father of the Bride, Leap of Faith, Simple Twist of Fate. Oh, that was a good movie if you guys haven't seen it. Yeah, The
Remember what
Sergeant
else?
Prince of Egypt, Bowfinger.
Oh, Bowfinger was
I'm,
fantastic. Actually,
yeah,
I've got that over here
and
somewhere.
that's just the 90s, right?
And Bowfinger was late '90s, and I want to
Late
say that
90s.
was where did it go? Yes,
And he just keeps going on, and
Eddie
it's still
Murphy
very active today.
and a Frank Oz film. And he also did Dirty Rotten Scoundrels with Frank Oz.
That's right, he did. All right, guys. So I hope you're able to join next week for The Man with Two Brains. It's going to be just fun, like we did today. And what do we got? Then after that, we have Lethal Weapon, and then rounding out July, we have Army of Darkness.
I need to get a copy of Army of Darkness, but I've got the other two.
There you go. Oh, okay. While I have you guys here, I have August already planned.
Nice.
Except for the last week in August, okay, I am vacillating between John Wick from 2014 or The Avengers from 2012. John Wick is a fantastic movie, love it to pieces. Army of Darkness, we mean what version from 1992? Are there different cuts
Um,
of that?
yeah, there's different cuts. Yeah,
Okay, we'll
probably
probably just stick
theatrical.
with theatrical.
Yeah.
Um, so, oh boy, are you stuck there, Alex?
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay. It might be my computer that was glitching.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
you'll have to put a poll up for John Wick
I
versus
think
Avengers.
versus the Avengers,
Yeah, Avengers one.
I
Yeah.
just have a hard time with John Wick at the beginning. If you guys have seen it, we
Yeah.
all know what happens.
Hmm.
It's just that
It's
that scene with the dog.
it's a quality revenge flick, but you got to
It's
have the revenge for a reason.
Yeah, but they have to show the revenge, why
Yeah.
he's going after him. So I'll put up a poll, but I think over you guys over in Discord, I mean, I'm up for the Avengers any day of the week.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great way for us to end our summer offerings. We'll do
Hmm.
the Avengers, but I think maybe for shits and giggles, I might just put up a poll.
Hmm.
If you guys would rather see John Wick, if it overwhelmingly gets the vote, we'll do that. Otherwise, I would love to jump in and do the Avengers. Instead of doing Iron Man from 2008, the Avengers is really where we get to see them all and we don't have to just,
Yeah.
pick and choose. Iron Man is still like one of my favorites, but the Avengers is probably because we get them all. We get all of them.
And there, and like Matt, as Mad Matt says, you can jump into Avengers without having seen Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2,
Exactly.
Thor 1, and Captain America: First
Exactly.
Avenger.
Captain America
Like those are four
is,
excellent movies all by themselves, but
yeah,
Avengers, you don't need them to enjoy it
exactly.
because you're just
Exactly.
because
And
you're
I believe we are the community that you don't need the backstory. We all know how they
Mhm.
became Avengers. Sith's sister, and I'm leaning towards that way. She's saying, let's spare the puppy. I agree. I tend to agree. Maybe I won't do a poll because I feel really strongly that maybe we'll just leave John Wick for maybe our own personal viewing whenever you guys feel like watching
Mhm.
it. We don't have to dive into it because it's even worse than Cujo. And Cujo for me is it's all fun and games and it's props, but come on.
Well, let me put it this way: the John Wick doggy versus Old Yeller.
I know.
It's like,
Oh, old Yeller.
it's like, dude, um, the John Wick is almost worse. Well, almost worse because of the age of the puppy, and it's being done by an
Exactly.
asshole.
But you know what? In Old Yeller, he got rabies,
Yeah, which is not the
and
doggy's fault. Neither of them are the
it's
doggy's
not the
fault.
dog's fault.
Yeah,
But yeah, so maybe I'll pull back on that poll and I'll save a poll for another time because I do have other movies coming down the pike that we'll discuss. So we're gonna stick with the Avengers to round out August. How about that?
that sounds like a plan.
That's a great way to
And
end it. So,
you've got the autumn planned out, September, October.
October I've got planned out, but I've got a couple spots in November and a couple spots in December. So we can work some movies into there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, towards the end of July, I will announce August. That's going to be a great month. I mean, you think this month is great, August is going to be even better. All right,
Well,
guys. Well, we've been
in
here.
2 weeks is Lethal Weapon, so that's the summer Christmas movie. So there you go.
Yep, exactly. All right, we've been here over 2 hours, guys. I so appreciate you joining us and sticking with us. Thank you, Alex,
My pleasure,
for
as always.
co-hosting. Next week, we're going to be doing The Man with Two Brains. I do not have a co-host. So anybody wants to, raise your hand. Otherwise, I'll be reaching out to you. All right, guys, have a safe week. And we'll see you next Sunday. Bye.
Bye, gang.